What's up, guys? We just both did a workout, and something that's been on our mind is cool down and injury prevention and all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about a bit about cool downs and then show you kind of like our go-to favorite cool down movements that we do for our various ailments, aches, pains, tweaks, and injury prevention stuff. So Andrew's going to talk about what was our first thing? What constitutes a cool down?
Cool down is basically just like in a warm-up, you gradually increase your heart rate, increase mobility. Cool down, you're going to gradually decrease your heart rate, so as opposed to going from close to max heart rate, 90% heart rate, whatever it may be. It's a little more gradual, bring back down to homeostasis. Then also, it's a good time to kind of increase range of motion because you're nice and warm. So you get areas that kind of beat up, areas that tend to get sore, and areas that tend to get tight and stuff like that. So you may have some go-to stretches, and we'll show you kind of what ours are. But basically, the goal isn't to just walk out of here and just be absolutely destroyed. And sometimes we have to do that because we're in a rush. But all in all, if you can bring your heart rate down a little more gradual, that's going to be a little better. It can also help kind of buffer blood soreness markers, so in turn you're not as sore the next day.
Who should do a cool down?
Everyone.
When should you do it?
Ideally, if it's like a higher intensity anaerobic type thing, so if you do Fran, for example, ideally you finish your last pull-up and you hop on an Airdyne and start cooling down a little bit. I mean, that'd be ideal. That would be the best way to kind of gradually bring yourself back down. But you know, cheer people on, hang out for a second, but before you take off, try and do something if you can. So
short answer.
Within 2 minutes, 5
right
minutes.
After your workout. And then how long should it be?
Kind of how much time you have, but I would. If you're going to do something that's going to kind of gradually bring back down your heart rate, I would try and go maybe 2 to 5 minutes.
Cool.
And then any stretches, so it can vary person to person based on how much time you have, how much time you want to spend. You could probably cool down and kind of mobilize everything for about an hour if you wanted to. Not super practical though.
Okay, so now we're just going to do like a quick little 1.5 minute version of the routines that we go through. So Andrew, if you want to go first out into the open space here and just kind of take people through, see if I can make sure you're in there. So just take us through a quick little rundown of what you do. Hold on. There we go.
I like to do a modified pancake or a frog because my groin gets super tight. Kick my feet out, relax into it for maybe 2 minutes. I'll do a shin sandwich or a double pigeon, whatever you want to call it, to open up my glutes. My glutes tend to get pretty tight. My lower back tends to get pretty tight. Reach forward, kind of relax into it. And then for me, because I have janky elbows, I do a lot of elbow work. I'll stretch out my biceps and my triceps just so I can maintain length, especially kind of on my bad side. I have a known injury that has been very persistent, so I try and hit that when I cool down. So my bicep is nice and loose, I'm going to try and add some length to it without destroying the back of my elbow, which is where my injury is. So I target what bothers me.
Cool. You want to come hold this? I'll step into that space there. If you can hold it just like that, it should, boom. Okay, I tend to have very tight shoulders and upper and lower back, so I'll do a 3-way rocker with a hold here and try and tuck my chin, make sure I get a lot of length in the spinal erectors, cervical vertebrae, all that stuff, and then I come up and hold it on the corresponding end, basically just hit it from both ends. So I'll try and relax into it, tuck my chin, get all that stuff nice and lengthened out because I tend to get very tight behind my shoulders. From there, I'll also do a double pigeon or a pancake here and there. Not super often, but just to kind of hit the hips a little bit. I will also do a twisted cross, so open up that chest wall a bit because I have very tight shoulders and pecs. I'll hit it here, and then also from the other side, I'll go thread the needle and reach through so I can get behind and try and relax into these things. From there, I might do a super couch on the wall or a shin kiss or something like that, but you'll almost always see me do at least those 3 or 4 movements, just kind of hit all the basic global stuff. Make sure I don't tighten up.
So real fast movements that everyone could do. Actually, stay out there so you can do something real fast. Movements that everyone could do more is super couch. You guys know that from our class with the band, or even just adding length, hip flexor.
So getting up into this kind of space, or going up to the wall and trying to open up that hip.
Puppy dog.
Puppy dog.
Tight shoulders, open up your overhead position. You can do that with your hands on a box or on a bench that's slightly elevated, or on a countertop or a bed. And then that's
pretty good.
Actually, some wrist stuff is always good too.
Yeah.
We honestly.
So the warm-up movements that we do, you can repeat those and just take them through a slower, more gradual, sustained range.
Slightly
so all this
bigger
kind of
range,
stuff, right? If you have tight wrists, tight elbows, forearms, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if you have tight ankles, Eric and I both don't have super tight ankles, so we don't do ankle stuff. But if you have tight ankles, very basic, just close the ankle. That's all you gotta do. It doesn't have to be super fancy. There's tons of lacrosse ball work you can do, but all in all, just closing the ankle is gonna help out a lot, add some length to that posterior portion.
Yeah. Cool, guys. We want to see you doing warm-ups. Spend 5 minutes, do your homework. Good stuff.
Cool down.
Cool down. Hit. Yep, there. Yep.